Greetings to all and welcome to my channel. I trust that you are all enjoying a splendid day. Before we commence, kindly take a moment to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Weekly Bold and the beautiful recap. November 4 to 8, Hope and Carter exchange I love yous. Bill burns Luna's letter. This week, everyone reacted to Steffi firing Hope. Elsewhere, Will and Elektra continued to get to know each other. And Poppy visited Luna, who sent a letter to Bill. The bold and the beautiful recap for November 4 to 8 featured more of the Steffi firing Hope fallout, Carter going up against Steffi and Ridge, and Poppy paying a visit to Luna. Monday, November 4, 2024. At Forrester, Steffi, Jacqueline McTins Wood, insisted to Ridge, Thorsten Kaye, and Taylor, Rebecca Budig, that she warned Hope, Annika Noel, about what would happen if she messed with her husband and her family, and she had to fire her. Taylor assured Steffi she set the boundaries. It was Hope who crossed the line. However, Ridge worried about the blowback and how Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang, would take it. Ridge reiterated his support for Steffi, and she expressed happiness that she was getting his full support. Steffi also urged her father not to let the Logans manipulate him. At Brooks, Hope again told Carter, Lawrence St. Victor, that Steffi had fired her, and when Brooke joined them, she told them the whole story. Hope admitted she served up a reason for Steffi to fire her on a platter. At one point, Hope wondered if she even wanted to return to Forrester. Things had been so bad there for so long that maybe it was no longer the place for her. Brooke was stunned when Hope told her that Ridge did nothing to stop Steffi. In fact, he told her to go. And then Hope had to do the walk of shame in front of all these employees that she respected. Brooke couldn't believe Ridge didn't even consult her or anything. She was sure he wasn't going to let this stand. Hope, in turn, didn't want this to blow back on Carter. That's why she didn't throw him under the bus. Steffi would turn that nugget of information into something else altogether. Meanwhile, Carter said he warned Ridge about Steffi losing her perspective, and he won't let them do this. Tuesday, November 5, 2024. After Will, Crew Morrow, told Katie, Heather Tom, about Hope's firing, Katie told Steffi and Taylor that she knew what it looked like, but also knew it was a misunderstanding. Hope had explained everything to her. Taylor and Steffi pointed out how Hope toyed with Thomas's Matthew Atkinson emotions and kissed Finn, Tanner Novlin, at the party. She did what she did, and now she was out. At Brooke and Ridge's place, Brooke told Ridge she knew everything, and that she must have misunderstood that he allowed Steffi to fire Hope. Unfortunately, Brooke promised to keep Carter's name out of it, and now she can't clear up this whole mess. All Brooke could say was that Ridge was totally wrong about this. Back at Forrester, Will and Elektra, Lania Grace, ran into each other again. Elektra broke the news that she would be working there now that Forrester has a jewelry line again. Will clearly enjoyed hearing this, and he offered her help should she and Ivy, Ashley Brewer, need it. The two kept looking at each other adorably. Meanwhile, Hope and Carter talked about being outsiders at Forrester. In addition, Carter couldn't believe that his so-called friend Ridge could just allow Steffi to fire Hope. He hated that the Forresters looked at the Logans as inferior. Carter also hated that he wasn't there for her at the offices, but he was there for her when it mattered. Wednesday, November 6, 2024. At home, Steffi told Finn that she had no choice but to end Hope's run at Forrester for what she did. Finn understood. He said he'd always support his wife. He was a little shocked that she got rid of Hope for the future, but ultimately, he supported whatever she did. Once the Hope talk was over, they made love and enjoyed this quality time they had together. Do you know who wasn't enjoying their time together? Brooke and Ridge. Brooke thought of Hope as her legacy every bit as much as Ridge thought of Steffi as the future of Forrester. When Brooke said she thought of Hope and Steffi as equals, Ridge immediately disavowed her of that notion. He wondered how she could even think that. It wasn't even close. A livid Brooke wanted Ridge to support her, listen to her, and honor her. She wanted him to believe her, but he didn't. Meanwhile, talking to Carter, Hope played up what she thought was the biggest reason Steffi got rid of her, that she was a Logan and her mom committed the ultimate sin. She fell in love with Ridge Forrester. Carter told her exactly who she was and that she was no longer alone. She had him on her side, and when Carter told Hope he loved her, she didn't respond in kind. At first, she wondered how it was that he had been standing right in front of her, and she didn't see it. But now she saw him, and she even said she loved him too. Then Hope and Carter took things to the next level. Thursday, November 7, 2024. Carter was on a mission. He needed to clear things up with Steffi and Ridge, and he promised Hope he'd do everything he could to get her job back. Meanwhile, Brooke and Katie filled in Zend Delon Demetz on everything, and from the way he sounded, he empathized more with Logan's side of things. After all, he was the lead designer at HFTF, and now the line was cancelled. At Forrester, Steffi and Ridge told Eric, John McCook, what had happened with Hope. He was upset. While he admitted that Steffi had every right to defend her marriage and her point of view, he also said that what she did was personal. Elektra walked in on Will, Lainey, Heidi Grace Engerman, and Tony, Jasmine Dampier. The girls weren't very nice to her. After they left, Will and Elektra talked, flirted, and made eyes at each other. Elektra mentioned how Lainey and Tony didn't seem to like her. Obviously, he didn't care about what those girls had to say. Hope eventually joined Brooke, Katie, and Zend. She mentioned how bad she felt for Zenda. After all, as lead designer, he was talented enough to take HFTF to new heights. However, she said that Carter seemed determined to talk sense into Ridge and Steffi and to get them to see that reversing their decision was the best thing for everyone. When Carter arrived, he told Steffi they needed to see that HFTF was a gateway to the younger customers and that making personal decisions based on the whole Logan versus Forrester rivalry wasn't the way to go. Furthermore, it was not only a lapse in judgment but also a lapse in leadership. He wouldn't allow that. Steffi looked stunned. Re-EDTHIS. Here's what to expect on B&B's Monday, November 11 episode. Friday, November 8, 2024. At the Forrester offices, Steffi had enough of Carter's insubordination and his passionate defense of Hope and HFTF, so she walked out. Soon after, Steffi and Zenda got some FaceTime with Hope in the room. Zenda wanted to know if Steffi had thought anything about him when she made the decision. After all, he was a Forrester too. He wanted to know if he was ever going to get anywhere in the company. Once again, Hope and Steffi confronted each other. Hope wanted to know how it felt that she wasn't the only one hurt by her decision. Steffi turned it back on Hope and said that she had put them in this position. Meanwhile, Carter and Ridge got into it at the offices. Ridge expressed how sick he was of talking about Hope. However, Carter continued to push his narrative, and then he doubled down on Ridge not listening to his luxury brand ideas. He thought they were best friends, brothers. Ridge walked out on Carter as well, while Katie visited with Bill Don Diamond and mentioned how he must be lonely in that big house now that Poppy, Romy Park, and Luna, Lisa Yamada, no longer live there. Poppy visited Luna in jail. Luna said she appreciated her mom coming. Poppy unloaded her pain on the daughter she could barely look at. Later, Luna asked Poppy about Bill and wanted to know how he was. Poppy let her daughter know that her kissing Bill pretty much sealed the deal for her and Bill. They are no longer together. And when Poppy left, Luna smiled creepily, and she kept that smile on her face when she was back behind bars. As for Bill, he spotted a letter Luna sent him from jail. He opened it and read all about Luna missing him and how he was the man she admired the most. He didn't keep the letter. Instead, he burned the letter and tossed it in his fireplace.